Hello and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. I'm Stacy and thank you for joining us today. If this is your first time here, I'm happy you joined us and we'll be grateful if you decide to join our community. Thank you to everyone that subscribed and continue to help us grow. And for the ones that haven't, I would appreciate before you exit this podcast that you do so. This way, you'll be notified whenever we go live or release the latest content. You can also hear us wherever you get your podcasts. And last, please go to your browser and check out more Chargers content from some great writers along with myself on stormcloud.blog, which is run by my friend and one of our own, Kyle D. Well, again, thank you all for joining us. It's been a rough patch right now. The Chargers as an organization that's been through some tough times over the decades trying to stay relevant in the NFL. We've had some really, really good coaches and some great quarterbacks, some Hall of Fame receivers, and one of the best running backs that's ever played, who's often compared to Marshall Faulk and Barry Sanders. The Chargers have now played a quarter of this season, so let's talk about it. I like to break the season down into 4 parts. Oh, man, the first 4 games has been kind of like disappointing. Let's say if we started the season off 0-2. And we're kind of down a little bit, like, this is going to be one of those years. But then you won your last 2. And now you go into the bye with a 2-2 record. You're feeling kind of good, right? Because you're saying, wow, it was starting to go left, but we reeled it in. And now we're 2-2 going into a bye. I'll take that. But when you start out 2-0 and then you play the Steelers and the Chiefs, which I may add, both of those games were winnable. You know, it's kind of a bummer a little bit because you stumble into the bye. And I know we have injuries and everything else. And I was frustrated. And people said, in the comment section, hang in there. You got to be more patient. They're going to turn things around. You'll see. And a lot of those fans that say those things, they can't go farther than maybe Phillip Rivers. A lot of the guys of the Charger fan base is young. There's guys like myself and a whole lot of others like me who've been around since the 70s watching Chargers football. This year 47 for me. And we've been through a whole lot more than the younger guys. Doesn't mean the younger guys' opinion doesn't matter, because it does. And I'm just going to talk as a fan. I'm not going to talk as an analyst or like a journalist. I'm going to talk from my heart how I really feel as a lifelong fan, as a guy that travels every year going out to the West Coast, spend a lot of money. Let's move forward to 2024. We signed Jim Harbaugh, who signs Joe Ortiz. And that brings in Greg Roman to establish a balanced offense where it's ball controlled and Jesse Minter to run the defense. Now, I'm going to tell you, we all got so excited over the fact that we got a proven winner in Jim Harbaugh. Also, we were extremely ecstatic about him bringing in Jesse Minter for the defense and what he's been able to do with Michigan the last couple of years. Greg Roman, who was with the Baltimore Ravens under Lamar Jackson's rookie year when he was MVP, the success he had with Harbaugh with the San Francisco 49ers. So things are looking up, right? We all ecstatic. We all are excited. You got Justin Herbert, who one of the most prolific passers this league has ever seen, throwing for 4,800, 5,000 yards on a daily basis his first couple of years in the league. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year. So we know what Justin Herbert can do, right? Now we bring all of this all-star cast in here. We excited. And Joe Ortiz told us clearly, this is not a rebuild. This is a retool. We're going to try to bring in some really talented young guys through the draft to be building for the future. At the same time, we're going to be making trades here and there, bringing in established players so that we will be able to compete and possibly win now, as far as that can take us, until we're ready for next year when the books are clean and we can really make a lot more impactful moves on this team. So we're excited, and we're saying, you play the Raiders the first game of the season, you win that one. It was a struggle in the first half, but you were able to figure things out. Then you play the Panthers after that, and you kind of like pretty much had your way with turnovers on the defensive side. I look at this team now, man, and after losing to the Steelers, which was a winnable game, losing to the Chiefs, which we should have won. And look, I get it. we're not going to win every game. Nobody, I don't believe, is going to go undefeated. But you had both of those games in your hand and you let it go. Now, those first two wins against the Carolina Panthers and the Raiders were great. I loved it. You don't apologize who you have to play against. In the past, we would usually stumble. You beat the teams that you were supposed to beat. Now, I said in an article that I wrote on Stormcloud that these next two games against the Steelers and the Chiefs will show us where we really are, because these are teams that you know before the season start, you say they're going to be in the playoffs. We know what the Chiefs has done, trying to win back-to-back Super Bowls. So we know what they've done. We know who they are. And going into the season, we were very excited. A lot of people didn't like the Greg Roman move. I was doing the podcast. A lot of people were saying, I don't like bringing in Greg Roman. He's going to ruin Justin Herbert. And I just preached patience, patience, patience. Patience, patience, patience. We don't know what it's going to look like. You had no Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, no Austin Eckler, no Gerald Everett, but you bring in Gus Edwards and you bring in J.K. Dobbins, right? You draft Brendan Rice and Lat McConkey, who's a stud in my opinion. And then you have Joshua Palmer. I wasn't crazy about Joshua Palmer, but a lot of people, even some of my partners that I talked to on the podcast, they told me to have patience. They told me, look, Joshua Palmer, and he is the only experienced receiver on this team. But I had no confidence in him because he's had a lot of opportunities over the years where Keenan and Mike was injured, and he had a lot of opportunities to state his case why he's the guy now. And his career is just injury filled. And so I said, all right, I'm going to wait and I'm going to see. Here's what I said in an earlier podcast in July, where I was talking to my partners. Here are my comments, what I said on my thoughts on Joshua Palmer. Listen up. We got a lot of unproven guys in that receiving room right now. And we know how when games start getting really, really tight and the defenses tighten up and you need one of those plays, Keenan always was there. When you needed that 3rd and 8, that 3rd and 6, you on the road and the crowd is screaming, getting behind that defense, and they looking to shut them down, and Keenan will make that tough catch across the middle just to get that little opening space. Who's going to be that guy now? And I don't know. I can't say right now we have that on our roster. I said that in July, and it turns out I was hoping I was wrong, and that's still the case. Justin Herbert and this offense is struggling big time against the Raiders, especially on 3rd down. Speaking to what I was talking about with Joshua Palmer, the Chargers was 4 of 15 on 3rd downs. Against the Panthers, they was 1 of 12, only converting 1 3rd down. The Chiefs, they was 4 of 13 on 3rd downs. The Steelers, they were a tad bit better, but they were 7. They converted 7 out of 14 3rd downs. You're just not going to be able to sustain drives if you can't convert 1st downs. That's been a problem from the very beginning, and that's a problem right now. And I'm hoping at this bye they can clean some of those things up, but I really do not believe that the guys on this roster that we really need to help Justin out on 3rd downs. For years, we've seen Antonio Gates be that guy. For years, we've seen Keenan Allen be that guy. When it was Phillip Rivers or Justin Herbert, it could be 3rd and 5, it could be 3rd and 8. It could be 3rd and 12, it could be 3rd and 15. When the game is on the line and it's 3rd and long, and you absolutely have to convert this 1st down. Gates and Keenan Allen always came up with that. Always. We're depending on Joshua Palmer to be that for us. And he's not. He's not. And it's proven time in and time out that the Chargers need to get a receiver. They need to get a receiver. Let's look at this footage of the play against the Chiefs. I was there at the game. We need some dogs on offense. On defense, we got some dogs. Despite the injuries on the defense, despite having no Derwin James, despite having no Joey Bosa, Dalen Henley, the middle linebacker, went down to an injury. Jesse meant to still rotating these guys, and with his schemes, find a way to keep this defense playing at a high level and keeping us in games. Because if we didn't have this defense, Lord have mercy, we can't even convert 3rd downs. So this is a crucial moment in the game against the Chiefs, and there's a pass to Joshua Palmer, and in my opinion, it should have been a touchdown. Let's watch this. Look at this play here. Joshua Palmer going down for no reason and then rolls. I mean, let's play this back again. It was a perfect play. It was a perfect scheme. Look at that. He had no reason to go down. There was nobody around him. But if you look again, Will Dissly and Hayden Hurst are the keys here. They were supposed to take their two defenders out. Palmer stay on his feet and he walk into that end zone. Instead, he go down anticipating the hit and starts to roll. You see him sitting here now. Look, there's no one around him. He should not have went down. He appears to be shocked that nobody was there, but now he starts to roll because he can't get up. Like, this is just not good. You know, the defender missed him the first time, and that's why he reached out to touch him again right here. I think from that angle, it shows that he got the first down. But again, look at this. It was perfectly designed. Will Dissly and Hayden Hurst, take these two guys out. Palmer, stay on your feet. And this is an easy touchdown. Or walk-in on a day when your quarterback is struggling and the offensive line has been struggling to have any kind of movement on the line. You have to help your quarterback right here. You just have to. And Joshua Palmer, I'm so disappointed because just as I thought, you are not the receiver that I thought you were, and they still need to get one. This is bad. He said himself that I need to be better. I need to get that ball out of there quicker. But oh no, Lord. Like, people act like he's the Messiah. You can't say that Justin needs to be better. The receivers need to be better. The run game need to be better. Greg Roman needs to be better with the schemes that he's calling. His play calling definitely got to be better. Justin Herbert needs to be better. And we need to get healthier. It's okay. Two things could be true. You can love Justin Herbert as your quarterback and at the same time say that he needs to play better. Because he do. Everybody do. That game against the Steelers, you lost your left tackle, Slater. You lost Alt. You know they bring in the blitz every down. And you went 2 straight series going 1, 2, 3 and out because you calling plays for Justin to drop back and try to hit someone deep when you should have been running that ball. Mike Tomlin said after the game, it was good on good. We needed that kind of battle. Their defense is built like ours. But one thing we wasn't going to do, we wasn't going to abandon the run. And eventually, it broke us in the end of the fourth quarter because the defense was on the field too long because they were tired because we couldn't move the ball on offense. And where's Brendan Rice? Where is Brendan Rice? Where is Brendan? Why Brendan Rice is not playing? I mean, what is Joshua Palmer doing that he needs to be in that lineup? I would love to see Brendan Rice. I don't know what it is, but the Los Angeles Rams have 4 starters out. They have 3rd and 4th string offensive linemen in the game that they went up and found a way to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Chargers, you got to find a way. We know there's some injuries. We know about the tackles, which led to struggles in the middle with your center and your guard that played really good when those 2 tackles were there because you were able to run the ball effectively in the first 2 games against the Raiders and against the Panthers. But since those injuries, everybody got to figure things out and just play better. Whether it's schematically, you just need to block better. Receivers need to fight hard to get open. I mean, Quentin Johnson has improved a little bit, but not enough to stop our struggles. I know Adams is out there. I know they're not going to go and get a high-priced receiver who's looking to cash in. I know that. But you can afford a Deontay Johnson, I think, could be had from the Panthers that can help us out on 3rd down. You can afford Hopkins from the Tennessee Titans. You don't think Hopkins can come in? And when Justin has 3rd and 10 and they need to convert that first down, that Hopkins can still do that. Because right now, we're not getting it done with what we have. And why we don't see Brendan Rice? He's suited up. He's on the active roster, but he's not getting inserted in. And I want to see more McConkey. McConkey keep running off the field because of these plays you call it. Keep McConkey in here. That right now, McConkey is your only playmaking wide receiver right now that's making an impact, and he's getting better and better. I don't like what I see right now with this offense. We know who Justin Herbert is, and all of a sudden, Justin Herbert is being converted into a game manager now, where he hasn't thrown. I know he's been hurt, but he's played hurt over the years with fractured ribs, and it still didn't stop him from putting up high yards. I know it's a combination of his injuries, of injuries on the offensive line, the constant penalties that we keep getting, the fact that we don't have anybody other than McConkey that's a playmaker that we can count on, especially on third downs. We are getting killed on third downs. And then every time we do something good on offense, it end up getting taken back because of a penalty. Penalties is killing these drives and killing this team. But Jesse Minter, I love everything that this guy doing, despite injuries. These guys are a top 5 defense. Jim Harbaugh, I fought hard. Everybody that watched this podcast know how I fight for Jim Harbaugh. But Jim Harbaugh, some of his clock management and his decision-making late in a couple of games against the Steelers and here against the Chiefs too, I didn't agree with going for it when you were down there in the red zone and you've been struggling to move the ball, struggling to even get in the red zone. You need to kick that field goal. I don't give a damn if it's Jim Harbaugh, Bill Belichick. You need to kick that field goal. Your defense is playing their ass off. Give them a freaking lead. Take them 13 points. I'm a firm believer when you're playing a tightly contested game and it's a defensive struggle, your field goal kicker and your defense play an important part. I know I haven't played in the NFL. I know I haven't played college. I didn't go to college. My family couldn't afford to send me to college. I played football in high school. That's about it. I've been watching football since 1978, a diehard Charger fan since then. Don't mean that I don't know how to break down what I see on film and what I think. Hey, look, Bill Parcells, Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, they ain't playing the NFL. They ain't playing college either, but they head coaches. Some of the great announcers that call our games, they never played football, but that don't mean they don't have knowledge of the game. And Harbaugh like to take the pressure off and say, hey, it's on me, taking the pressure off Joshua Palmer. But he know damn well Joshua Palmer wasn't supposed to go down to that ground. If Will Dissly and Hayden Hurst take those two defenders out, don't just get in the way and just and then move up. No, block those guys. Push those guys back into the end zone. That's what I thought we were. We want to be a tough physical team, a punch in the mouth team. All this little titty bumping out there. No. Push them out into the end zone. And Joshua Palmer, stay on your damn feet and score that touchdown. I mean, my goodness, who are we? What is our identity going to be? We need to fix that. And right now, it don't look like this Greg Roman offense is a good fit for Justin Herbert, because Justin Herbert don't look like Justin Herbert. And I know he's hurt. He was hurt the last couple of years too. That didn't stop him from being able to produce. So I'm saying, look, man, y'all got to get it together. I'm lowering my expectations with the excitement of bringing Harbaugh in and bringing Greg Roman in. It got me excited. My early prediction was 9-8 or 10-7. And unless we do something to improve what we've been putting on the field, I'm backing off of that a little bit. I don't know who we are now. The first 2 weeks, we look like, okay, I see what our identity is. And Herbert didn't throw but nothing but what, 130 the first game and 125 the second game. But, we let that pass. We let that slide because we're saying, hey, look, they're going to figure things out. But right now, the defense is playing lights out and the running game is going. So I don't care. I'll sacrifice him throwing 300-yard games as long as we are running the ball the way we are and playing defense. That's not happening now. Now that the offensive line, due to the injuries and their inability to be able to block in these schemes now without Alt and without Slater, They haven't been as good as they've been the first 2 weeks. And it's caused some struggles with J.K. Dobbins. You know, there's a report that came out that J.K. Dobbins was in the locker room after the Chief game and had a towel around his head and was very emotional and said, I'm not used to this. This man has won on every level that he's ever played, whether it was high school, college, and in the pros. He do not want to get used to what it feels like to be losing. And I'm with him on that. I like players that show emotion that way because losing supposed to hurt. I don't like what I'm seeing right now. We're 2-2. There's a lot of other teams that's 2-2. There's some teams that's 0-3 or 1-3. I'm happy to be 2-2, but I'm being realistic. Die hard as I am, we're still struggling with regards to learning how to win games. And I just assumed that it would be fixed sooner than later with Jim Harbaugh because that's what he's done everywhere else he's went. And we're struggling with that right now. We're not converting third downs. We can't sustain any type of drives on offense. The penalties is killing us. Quentin Johnson still improving very little, but still struggling with regards to where he was picked. Ladd McConkey is coming on as I knew he would. But I would like to see some more Brendan Rice. I had a good time this weekend. Me and my son came out and we enjoyed ourselves. We went on a tour. You know, I took plenty of pictures and videos, and some of them I posted on the podcast. And we went to the tailgate party and we had a really good time. And everyone made sure that we had stuff to eat and we had some drinks. And it's always nice to be vibing with the Charger family. Always. I miss the guys already. I miss the tailgate already. I wish I lived in California. I'd be out there every week probably. But man, being a Charger fan for 47 years, it's like, you know, when do our turn come? I think we have the right coaches in place. I think some things need to be figured out. I don't like the fact that Justin Herbert is struggling the way he is. A lot of it is we already saw on paper the last 4 or 5 years who he is. We know who he is, but he don't have the guys. And I mean, look, there's a lot of quarterbacks, even when you lose guys, that elevate people around them. I remember a year where Phillip Rivers lost Malcolm Floyd, Vincent Jackson, Antonio Gates when he had plantar fasciitis. And we had guys like Ajiri Tutu, Seiji Ajiri Tutu, if I'm saying his name correct. We had guys like that. Phillip Rivers throwing touchdowns too. So nobody cares in reality about your injuries, the players. This is who y'all put together to be on the roster. You got to get it done. Offensive line, you got to get it done. Defense, I have nothing to say about the defense. Keep doing what you're doing. Offense, you got to get it done. Justin Herbert, you got to get it done. Jim Harbaugh, you got to coach better. Because I believe you got outcoached against Mike Tomlin and you got outcoached against Andy Reid. And I never thought I'd be saying that, but that's real. And I'm talking now as a fan. I know what I see. You guys know what you see. And if you be totally, totally honest with yourselves, you know it. You know it. Those were 2 winnable games. We lost, 18 games over the last 3 years under Brandon Staley by 4 points or less because he made bonehead decisions and cost us games. And I've seen it twice. Y'all abandoned the run. You're leaving Justin out there on the island by himself trying to throw deep passes where the offensive line is struggling without the tackles and can't stop a nosebleed, and you're putting them in harm's way. Help the man out. But I want to see something coming out this bye. We go into Mile High and play the Denver Broncos. I want to see something. I still believe that this team could sneak in by wild card. But you can't just keep giving up games like this. Games that you have in your grasp. You can't let these games go. And we got the people in place on coaching-wise just to prevent those kind of things so that we can move forward and get more wins than losses. And this is not giving up because it's only 4 games. We got a long season left. We got 13 games. But I have some concerns. I really have some concerns. And Justin Herbert is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the National Football League. He's our guy. He's our franchise guy. We need more. We already said what's going to happen when J.K. Dobbins, the run gets stuffed, when people are putting 9 men in the box. What's going to happen? Teams daring us to throw on them now? That's unheard of with Justin Herbert, but that's what's happening. You know why? Because they know you don't have nobody out there that scares them. You don't. Joshua Palmer don't scare anybody. Joshua Palmer don't have the toughness and the grit and the dog in him to get to that next level. I've seen it since he's been in the league, catching the ball and diving on the ground. Like, yo, man, you know how much the team was struggling. You got to stay on your feet and get that damn touchdown. But that's it. I just want to come on today and get that out. I need to take a couple of days because when I got back Monday evening, I was kind of jet lagged. It's a long flight going on the West Coast. And I had to sort through what I wanted to talk about because I was pissed, watching us give 2 games away. Good teams find a way to win those kind of games. They do. And that starts up top with the coaching too. And we need to make a trade. Because if we're going to stick with what we got now, I mean, I know DJ Chalk will be coming back soon, but I don't know what we're going to get from DJ Chalk. DJ Chalk has been a good receiver for 1 year. He put up some good numbers. I think he had 1,000 yards 1 year, but he also has an injury history. So I don't know what we're going to get from DJ Chalk, but I know who Deontay Johnson is. I know who Hopkins is. I know they can come and help right now. So come on, man, come on, man. Y'all got to get it together. You do. You really got to get it together. I'm very concerned about what I'm seeing right now. But that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for joining us here on Chargers Talk 4630. Please don't forget to log on to stormcloud.blog if you're looking for more Chargers content. I'll be back next week to discuss a huge division game at Mile High against the Denver Broncos, who appears to be figuring out who they want to be now under Sean Payton and rookie quarterback Bo Nix. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now before exiting this podcast. And as always, be good, be safe, be well. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the game tonight and the games this weekend. Peace and bolt up. I'll talk to you guys soon.